In a move that has stunned the world, on August 12, Russian forces executed their most dramatic incursion into eastern Ukraine in over a year, sending shockwaves through international capitals. And what makes it all the more shocking is the timing, just 3 days before the high-stakes Trump-Putin summit in Alaska. Overnight, under dense artillery fire and cover of darkness, elite sabotage units, armed not with heavy tanks, but high-tech drones, motorcycles, and ATV squads, sliced through Ukraine's defensive belt near Dobropillia. Military observers report a thrust of nearly 10 kilometers, reaching as far as the strategic highway connecting Dobropillia to Kramatorsk, a major lifeline for frontline towns. Analysts from Ukraine's deep state war map describe the situation as chaotic. These small, highly trained Russian teams have infiltrated two-pronged assaults near Kostiantynivka and Pokrovsk, identifying thin spots in Ukraine's stretched defenses, a resulting breach that U.S.-based Blackbird Group estimates could extend up to 17 kilometers. The relentless use of drones, both kamikaze-style and reconnaissance models, amplify the fear. Russia has dropped over 1,000 glide bombs and 1,400 drones in just a week, according to Guardian reporting. Diplomatic earthquake. Putin's forces timed this offensive with the precision of a chess grandmaster. It is no coincidence that it unfolded just days before Trump and Putin's August 15th summit at Elmendorf Air Force Base in Anchorage, Alaska. The underlying message is clear. We're moving. You want a deal? Come with leverage. U.S. intel indicates that Moscow expects Trump to consider territorial swaps, possibly exchanging portions of Luhansk and Donetsk, or even Crimea, to hasten a ceasefire. Trump himself has openly floated the idea that peace may require exchanging territories to the betterment of both sides. Ukraine's fierce resistance. But Kyiv has smashed that narrative. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, speaking from Berlin, declared the Russian incursion a strategic springboard, a trap disguised as diplomacy. He warned any agreement excluding Ukraine is illegitimate and vowed not to surrender even an inch. Reinforcements have poured into eastern Ukraine, with Ukrainian units deploying to Dobropillia, Pokrovsk, and Toretsk to seal the breach. Meanwhile, Kyiv retaliated with drone strikes deep inside Russian territory, targeting facilities in Komi and Nizhny Novgorod, signaling a war fought not just on soil, but through the air and across borders.
Reuters, Wikipedia, humanitarian fallout. Civilians in frontline towns describe life under daily drone bombardment as constant fear. In Kramatorsk, residents say the robot war has begun, where autonomous weapons drop bombs on homes and night skies glow with fiery projectiles. The Guardian, France 24. Partial evacuations are underway in Pokrovsk and Dobropillia, where public services falter and families flee with only what they can carry. Implications and global reactions. In Europe, leaders from Berlin, Paris, and Brussels are urging no land concessions, arguing redrawn borders under fire would violate global norms. Reuters, The Guardian. France's Macron, in particular, issued a stern warning. Compromising under duress would embolden not just Russia, but authoritarian regimes globally. Atlantic Council, Reuters, The Guardian. Alaska high stakes. The Alaska talks have now become a high-stakes gamble. Will Trump, keen on a headline peace, risk sidelining Ukraine in favor of a fast deal? Will Putin exploit battlefield gains to claim legitimacy? And how will Zelenskyy, NATO, and EU leaders respond if a land swap emerges on the table? Over 19,500 Ukrainian children abducted by Russia are also expected to feature in the summit debate, human collateral being weighed alongside military maps. New York Post. What's next? The massive what-ifs. If Russia holds territory, key cities like Kramatorsk could be encircled, bolstering Moscow's grip on Donetsk and setting a precedent for wider advances into Zaporizhia or Kharkiv. Al Jazeera, Wikipedia, Reuters. If Ukraine counterattacks, driven by Western tech and morale, Kyiv's offensive could reclaim lost ground, turning the summit into a showcase of Western resolve and Ukraine's sovereignty. Atlantic Council, The Guardian, Wikipedia. If diplomacy supersedes conflict, a deal may be struck, perhaps temporary, but potentially at the cost of international law and post-war stability. Final tease and call to action. As viewers, here's what you need to watch. The Alaska Summit on August 15th. Will it seal Ukraine's fate or expose a bluff? Frontline updates from Dobropillia, Pokrovsk, and Kramatorsk. Are families fleeing or clinging on? Europe's next move. Will Berlin and Brussels impose tougher sanctions or countertop balance America's tentative diplomacy? And remember, next up on our channel, a shocking brawl in Florida caught on camera. What's the full story? A jaw-dropping AI-enhanced orca attack video that fooled the internet. How do we trust what we see? If you're with us till now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because this saga is just beginning. The game of power, territory, and truth is unfolding, and you'll want to see it all. Stay tuned.